DJ Immortal, live in the mix.
Alright, Outlaw Radio Live fans, we are live in full effect right here, right now with the legendary multi-platinum DJ E-Swift of the legendary West Coast rap trio, the Alkaholiks. How you doing this evening?
Yes, sir. Good, bro. E-Swift, man, the myth in the building. What's happening with y'all?
Pretty good, man. First and foremost, right before we jump into this, I have to say, E-Swift, I've been a fan of you guys for a very number of years. So I first and foremost got to say thank you so much for the years of amazing music.
Oh, man, I appreciate that, bro. That means a lot, man. Like, we do it because we love it, first of all. And then, when people really appreciate what we've been doing, man, it really means a lot to us. So I appreciate your comments on that, man. Definitely an honor to be on here.
You're most certainly welcome, man. And I have to ask you, what made you decide to get into DJing from the start?
I was just always around music for a long time, and my dad was like, he played the trumpet, and he like collected a lot of records, man, and I was always around music. And I used to break dance too, and it was like when that thing came in, I was like, hey, man, I'm gonna start making our little mixtapes for us to, in our battles with. So I was just man, the DJing, and I started rocking a house party. The first time I did a house party, I probably made like $12, man. Like, I was like, hey, I can make money doing this? Okay, shoot, let me just keep doing what I'm doing. And it was just a love for music, really, man. And then being around my dad, he had a lot of records, and he had some DJ equipment, so I would mess around on that, too. So.
I actually did not know you used to break dance. That's actually really extraordinary.
Oh, man, I was actually really nice, man. I was in Toledo, Ohio, and there was actually, man, a couple DJs on my block, man, that really got me into DJing. His name was a guy named Chris McClown and Dale McClown. They were brothers. And I was just hearing them bumping music riding down the street, man, and I went to a couple of their parties. I was like, oh, I can do this. This is my calling. Yeah, man, but that's the love of music, really.
And I have to ask you, you also did a lot of work with King T as well during the early days of the Alkaholiks. How did you guys get connected with King T?
That happened, man. I was actually King T's DJ right after his first album came out. I met King T through J-Ro. J-Ro and King T used to be in a group back in the days called Total Control with DJ Pooh, and so he knew all of them from L.A. I moved out there. I moved to L.A. from Ohio, and J-Ro had already known these guys, you know what I mean? So he introduced me to them after I started working with J-Ro, who was introduced to me by another friend of ours, just because I was just the DJ, and they was trying to hook me up with everybody. Like, hey, I got to meet this guy. But that's how originally it all came about. And I wasn't even King T's DJ. Like, I was just, man, I mean, everybody knew I was DJ, but I was cutting everybody's hair too in the neighborhood. So they was like, oh, this Swift guy is nice on the barber on the haircut. So they was like, hey, let's bring him on tour with us as a barber. Then his DJ was DJ Aladdin at that time. DJ Aladdin got in a car accident, broke his legs, he couldn't go on tour. And he's like, I need a DJ. And then I was like, Swift is the one. And I was like, yep, let's do it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. You went from being a barber to King T's DJ, man. That's actually what's
up.
I
was cutting it up. Either way you put it. Yep.
And also, the Alkaholiks were also signed to Loud Records. How did that record deal come to be for you guys? And what was it like working for Loud?
Oh man, that was a blessing, man. That became my family. We just man. We had a demo tape, man. That was circulating all around LA, and it got in the hands of Steve Rifkin. And as soon as he heard it, he was like, "Hey, man, I need these guys on my label." We were looking for a label deal, and it just kind of lined up. And this guy Fade, who was working for Loud at the time, he's the one that really brought us in there. And the rest is history, really. Like, ready to come out. Our stuff was ready. A lot of stuff on our first album was ready, like, before we even got the deal.
And also, Loud Records was really big back in the day as well. They had, obviously, the Alkaholiks, they had the Wu-Tang Clan, they had a lot of great acts.
Mhm. Yep. Incredible label, man. That was like, if you want to compare them to anybody, I guess Def Jam would be a good comparison as far as the amount of talent that we all had in this label. But man, we started from the ground up. You know what I mean? And like you said, we produced a lot of cats out of that camp. We just did a Loud 25-year anniversary show out in New York in January. That was incredible. So, yeah, the legacy lives on, man.
I have to ask you, what all acts were there at the Loud reunion?
Oh my God, there was ourselves, Exhibit, Pete Rock, Back Jr. did a Big Pun tribute. We had Mobb Deep. Havoc, did the Mobb Deep. Prodigy tribute. Rest in peace, Prodigy. All kind of special guests. DMX came out. Mary J. Blige came out. All the Wu-Tang Clan. Man, it was just Dead Prez. Cellar Dwellers. You know what I'm saying? We reached all the way back.
That sounds like a super show.
It was ridiculous, and it was at Radio City Music Hall. Top it all off. So.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. That sounds like one hell of an amazing experience, and most definitely one hell of a show for the audience.
Oh, it was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible, man. It was incredible.
And as you mentioned earlier, your debut record, 21 and Over, actually was your guys' debut album. I have to ask you, what's the story and inspiration behind that iconic record?
Oh, the inspiration was a lot of drinking. For real. It was just fun, man. What inspired us was just having fun and being together as homies and making music together, man. The whole process of that was fun, I don't think it would have came out the same if it was like not as fun, but it was that was the inspiration, man. For real, just having a good time.
And as we mentioned earlier about the Wu-Tang Clan, one of my favorite songs that you guys did is HipHop Drunkies. I absolutely love that track. I have to ask, how did you guys get connected with ODB, and what was it like working with him?
Well, Old Dirty was our label mate. First of all, they was like, they were like brothers to us. Like when they got signed, we were already on the label. I was actually there with Steve Rifkin when into the office and start auditioning to get signed. And we didn't let him out the building, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, we took them on tour with us, and we just all connected, man, like brothers. Trying to on the same mission. And Old Dirty, shoot, he was just one. We was around him a lot. We were around all of them a lot, but I don't know how. We were just like, let's do a song with ODB, and we just went in the studio, did it. It wasn't even no big, like nothing. It was like, let's do it. We went in there, started having a conversation, and turned the beat on, and everybody got in there on the mic at the same time, which was crazy, and they just started rapping. One take. Like, let's go.
And when I had J-Ro actually on a couple weeks ago, I brought this up. I have to say, the HipHop Drunkies beat, instrumental, was so different than anything hip-hop has ever heard. You had the glasses clinking, every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
It was such an iconic instrumental.
Right. It was, man, and honestly, I gotta give a lot of credit to Marley Marl, who we sampled it from. He had to use it as a short little snippet piece at the beginning of the symphony video, and we always was like, "Oh, we need to rap over that." So I linked up with Marley Marl. He gave me all the files for the sounds that he used in the beat and everything. There it is. Just put our little drunken twist on it. And, that was crazy in itself. But I was like, man, Marley Marl was, my biggest, idol, big-making-wise growing up. And just be able to even call him and talk to him and work with him on, even just on that level was I made it. I got Marley Marl's phone number. He's sending me some files from his own studio. I was like, oh, man, We popping.
And to top it all off, the song is still iconic to this day.
Yeah, man. And we try to make some timeless hip hop classics, man. That's our whole thing. But yeah, man. Rest in peace, ODB, man. He was one of the best to ever do it.
I agree with that. Rest in peace, ODB, man. Like Wu-Tang Clan ain't the same without him.
Oh man, no. But his son, I can't lie. His son is really doing a good job holding him down in the shows.
I agree. I actually saw the Wu-Tang Clan a couple years back at a summer festival here, and his son actually really does portray his father really well, man. I'll tell you that.
And he gives him that energy, so I'm glad they were able to at least, keep him alive in that form. But, yeah, man, the one and only ODB, never been another.
And I also have to ask you, I read something on the internet, and I don't know if this is fully true or not, but it talks about how you saved Tupac's life. If you don't mind me asking, what's the story behind that? If that is a true story.
Well, it's exaggerated a little bit as far as saying I saved his life. I don't know, but I definitely. There was a time when me and Tupac were pretty close, man, and we go hang out and stuff together. And we was at this club, man, and some a fight broke out between some people, man, and usually you just kind of be like, oh, whatever. But I was like right there when it happened, and this guy, I'll be back. And he had this look like, no, he really coming back. It's about to go down. Like, so I went to where we were sitting, being talking. I was like, man, this dude's about to come back and do some damage. He's like, yeah, whatever. I said, no, he cold. Like, as soon as he's got him up, this dude came back in the club, like, man, right where we were sitting at, man. We were out of there. Like, oh, man. He was like, thanks, Steve, bro. Like, you really saved my life. I was like, man, I ain't gonna say all that, but it definitely was a situation.
Hey, man, at least you were there for him, you know what I mean? Especially in those days, a lot of people, would have just left Pac there to be like, deal with it. But at least you were that good friend that was like, yo, man, this is about to pop off. You gotta get out.
Man, we come together, we leave together, alive. Did that. Yeah.
And also, you worked on the soundtrack for the Whoopi Goldberg movie Eddie on the song Punch Drunk. I have to ask you, what was it like working on that project, like, for the Whoopi Goldberg movie?
Man, what's crazy is I don't even remember. It was so, and I'm being 100% honest, like, it was so much going on at that time that so much different things that even to this day, you ask that question kind of is a trip because a lot of people don't even know about that. But it's like, I don't even know how that happened, man. Like, it was a lot of blessings. It was just being in the right place at the right time and meeting the right people. But yeah, shout out to Whoopi Goldberg. Thank you. that was an experience. I just don't remember. I don't remember how that even happened, man. There was a whole bunch of things happening like that. Like, oh, can we do this? Like, yeah, hell yeah. Let's do it. We're just trying to stay relevant, bro.
So I have to ask you, like, you didn't meet Whoopi Goldberg or anything, eh? It was probably just, like, submitted track and, like, off the go type thing?
No, it was a submitted track, and we just had this track laying around, I believe. I don't believe we were even waiting this because, man, we recorded so much music that we just had so much material just always ready. So I do, like, here, let's put this soundtrack. Yeah, let's keep it going, keep the momentum going. So, no, we didn't get to meet Whoopi, but one day.
And this one might also bring you back a little bit, too, but I saw on the internet that you actually did some voice work on the video game called Scarface, The World Is Yours. What was it like doing that video game character? Like, you know what I mean? Like, was it different going from that to, like, from music to a video game?
Oh, man, it was, that was me doing voiceovers on a video game. That came through the homies, like DJ Poole and all that, but, yeah, it was weird, because you just go in there and you read a whole bunch of lines, and you never know what's going to happen to them, and then when they sent me the game and the whole package, first it's Scarface, that's epic in its own right, and then I'm playing the game, and then you see your character on there, and you hear your voice on this video game that's going to be here forever and ever. It's a trip, So, it's crazy. Just the other day, I was showing my sons the game, and I was playing it, trying to find my character in it. And when he came up, and I was like, it was crazy because my character on there, he has on a dashiki and some sandals, like totally looking like a nerd. but he was like the biggest drug dealer ever.
See, it's weird actually. I used to play that game a lot when I was like younger on the Wii, and like every time I heard your character's voice, I'd always be like, "Yo, I know that voice," but like you don't think it because you're seeing the character talk. So now when I did my research, I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that was dope. They gave us a big commemorative like cigar box, game in it, and all this stuff.
And also, you did some work with Exhibit as well. I have to ask you, what was it like working with Exhibit, and how did you guys get connected?
Oh man, yeah, we brought Exhibit into the whole Loud Records situation. We met Exhibit to a friend of ours in Broadway, and he had a hard work ethic, and he was like one of the dopest MCs we knew. So he really was like, "Hey, I want to roll with y'all. Like, I like how y'all moving, and I want to be down with y'all." I was like, "Say no more. Come into the studio. Let's just start recording joints." So I executive produced his first couple albums, and oversaw his whole projects, and the shit. Then let him fly from there, But yeah, Exhibit, man, that's our brother for life, for sure. But yeah, that's another one of them things. Just like Madlib and all them other guys who put into the game. You know what I'm saying? This is a matter of recognizing good talent and then a position to help them out with their careers so they can go to the next level.
And also, you also did like a concert DVD with them as well. I have to ask you, what was it like doing that concert DVD with Exhibit?
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, that was just all that shit. It wasn't nothing but them because we was doing it every day anyway, touring and having fun backstage and joking around and being ourselves. But yeah, that was a great experience. And, you get to document something like in your journey through this whole game and being able to watch it for years later is always a blessing. But yeah, man, that was a good thing. We did a couple. We did our own DVD. We did some with Exhibit. We're working on another documentary right now, like a real full documentary on Alkaholiks and things of that nature. So yeah.
So you also did an actual record with the B-Nuts called the Lick Nuts. I have to ask you, where can our listeners buy or stream that record, and what was it like doing that record?
Well, we have not released a full album, but we have songs out there. And you can just go on YouTube and watch the Grumpy Crocodile video and a couple other songs out there, man, floating around. But we've had this concept to do this album for like over 10 years. And people always compared us to like the Beat Nuts as far as us being the West Coast version and them being the East Coast version of us. So we've just known each other for years and similar within our camps as far as dynamics go and self-contained, and they make beats. They're like in-house producers. I'm the same with the licks, and we just were always dabbing at this idea, and then one day I just woke up like, man, let's do this shit. So I drove back out. I'm in Vegas, so I drove out to LA where Les was staying for a while, and I just camped out there for a couple months, and we just was in the studio just living together till 5, 6 in the morning recording songs. So we still got a whole bunch of stuff that we gotta mix and put out, but it's coming still. People are still waiting for this album, so we're gonna give it to them. We're gonna do a couple new songs and then put them all out. But yep, watch out for Big Nuts.
The one thing I do want to ask as well, I know for the longest time you guys were called the Alkaholiks, and then you also were called the Licks. I have to ask you, did you guys happen to change your name over the years due to controversy just because of the name, the Alkaholiks?
No, not really. But at one point we did put the Licks on like a commercial single that we did with the Neptunes, just to see if the name itself was hindering us from anything. But we was always known as the Licks. Even our first single, Make Room, we was like, it's the Licks, baby, it's the Licks. Like, we just abbreviated it all times. So, Licks, Alkaholiks was all the same to us. People knew who it was. We were never forced, though. Like, it was never a label thing. Like, that's the one thing about Loud. Like, they never pressured us to do anything. Like, we always got to pick our own singles, our own videos, everything. We had full creative control. were never pressured like change our name to a licks or shortening or anything. We're just kind of, you know, people called us the licks anyway, so we kind of abbreviated it for one album. But now we are alcoholics all day, you know. But you can call us the licks too. Either way.
And that's actually pretty cool, though. You know, not a lot of record labels, especially back in the day, actually gave their artists full creative control, man. So that must have been one hell of an amazing record label to be a part of back in the 90s.
Oh, for sure. It was like family, bro. Like we spent holidays together. And it wasn't like your typical artist label relationship, man. We were all family for real. So, yeah. Shout out to Loud Records for sure for letting us do our thing. And it worked. You know what I'm saying? It was working, so it was like, shit, who are we to say do this a different way?
And also, I saw a video recently of you and Tash working in the studio on a new album. I have to ask, what can our listeners expect from that new project? And what is the estimated release date for that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? We don't really have an excellent, like, a release date for anything anymore. It's just like when it's done and we feel like it's ready, you just put it out. But you don't got to set it up anymore. You know, just dropping the shit. But more the same stuff, man. More, you know, what people know us for. HipHop, you know, real thing, boom bap, HipHop, real heavy shit. Always straight musically, nothing different. You know, same shit, man. Different year. That's it. And it's not particularly, you know, we're just recording records, man. Like, wherever they land, they land. It's like, we don't have this big take over the world philosophy. Like, we're going to put out this album. We're going to keep putting out records, man, and entertaining the people, man, and having fun doing this shit.
So I have to ask you, E. Swift, what's next for you, man? As you already mentioned, like, the new record, you also are still going to be working on the B-Nuts, and you have the documentary, but what else is next for DJ E. Swift?
Oh, bro, I'm working on my own album. I got beats for days, so anybody that's trying to get some beats from me, you know, you can always hit me up and find me online. It's not hard. Just working with a lot of talented people, man. I got a lot of new artists that I'm working with. Just getting our studio out here in Vegas, just fully functional. Just moved to a new spot. Just being creative, man. Just wherever it lands, man. I'm always looking to work with the next dope person to collaborate with anybody.
So, Swift, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the platform. Just a chance to give shout-outs to whomever they want to give shout-outs to, and also your social media handles. That way our listeners can shoot you a follow if they're not already doing so.
For sure. All right. DJ E. Swift, you know, shout out to everybody out there that's supported us over the years. And, you know, been to our shows, concerts, bought our albums, even just, you know, jumped in on our social media and said what's up, and show your appreciation for what we've been doing for over 25 years, you know. Social media, you can go and find me on Instagram under SwiftZilla. That's probably the best way to get at me on the social media. I'm more on Instagram than anything else. Yeah, so just DM me, if you need something, or, you know, you got questions, want to know something, or you want to buy some beats, or you want me to listen to your music, I'm always open, man. So, SwiftZilla.
I gotta say, E. Swift, thank you so much for coming up on the show. Like I said at the beginning, I've been a fan of the Alkaholiks for many, many years, so just the opportunity to be able to interview all three of you guys was an absolute honor, man, so thank you so much.
Yeah, man, that's dope, man. I appreciate you reaching out to me, man, and making this happen, man. I love what you're doing over there, and keep up the good work over there, too.
Yeah, I appreciate that, especially someone of your caliber giving me that positive feedback, man. That's all love. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You have yourself a wonderful night, man. Thank you so much again.
You too, man. All right.